Welcome to the Chronic Health Collect, the show. This isn't just a community, it's your fresh start. We gathered the best coaches and experts to help you reclaim your energy, heal from the inside out, and of course, to live with purpose. Whether you're longing for more energy, deeper healing in your relationships, or a life that feels more aligned and fulfilling, you're not alone anymore. Hi, I'm Annie Nam, and today's star for the show is Kristy Boyd Johnson. Hi, Kristy.
Hey Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. So, what are we going to learn on today's show?
Well, we're going to talk about narcissism.
Oh, I love
And
it. I love it.
we're going to talk about what it looks like and what a trauma bond is as opposed to actual real love, and then what it takes to really heal those that abuse that sinks into us. So,
I think that is so important because, we had conversations in the past, and, I never really knew what narcissism is. And I've been living with it through my life with my family. So, I'm going to be peeling in today to listen to your lesson.
oh yeah, please ask questions if they pop up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
All right. Okay. Well, let's jump in.
Yes,
So,
let's do it.
Narcissism 101, identifying the vampire before they bite, because they are not they are vampires. I put these in to start out on a little bit lighter note because they're unfortunately true. Like the snake with the unicorn strapped on his head. That's when the narcissist says they've changed. They don't change. They expect everybody around them to do all the changing to accommodate them. And so I just put these on as a little bit of and narcissists, of course, their definition of abuse is not getting their way. So
Mm,
they're painfully funny. But before I start, I want you to think about yourself and symptoms of post narcissist abuse. There's a myriad of them, and many of them are mystery symptoms where they feel like, where did I get this? Why do I have headaches all the time? Why
mhm,
do I feel alone? Why am I plagued with self-doubt or shame or guilt when I'm not doing anything wrong? You know, fear of setting boundaries is a big one because narcissists train you that you don't
mm,
get boundaries. They get them, but you don't. In a real extreme cases, you can have pretty severe anxiety, depression, or even suicidal thoughts. And I do want to say, I do have a slide coming up. If you are having those kinds of severe symptoms, please call 211 and get
mhm.
help right now. Just get off this whole thing and just go do that right now. Just get help. Don't wait because it doesn't get better by yourself. But then in less extreme, you can feel restless on edge, like you're walking on eggshells all the time. Like you're not, someone says something that sounds like they might be angry and you flinch and you react.
Mhm.
And uh, one of the really detrimental things is leaping into a replacement relationship. That is a clear sign of trauma bonding. You know, if you don't allow yourself to heal from the first one and really do what it takes to heal, that's just replacing one narcissist with another because when I say they're vampires, they can smell you. They can see you coming a mile away and they're like, oh, I can get this one now.
Correct, correct. That's almost like the rebounds, right? When people are always saying that you're doing on the rebound for, you're finding another person that is exactly the same as before without even realize you're doing it, right?
Exactly. It's not a good idea. We all do it, but if you know it's a rebound, I'm going to be talking about my brother a lot because I have to tell you, uh, he's had three major narcissist relationships. The first one he did not marry, but he had a kid with her. And the
Mm,
second two, he's married. He married one, had a kid, or well, she got pregnant. and then he had a kid. And then the third one now that he's with now, in between number 2 and 3, he had a rebound relationship with another narcissist. And it was just, it's like, dude. And his answer to me calling it out was, that's just how women are.
Oh, wow.
And so, no. But anyway, those are some of the things. So if you're feeling mystery symptoms and wondering, like, what's going on, and you've been in an abusive relationship, this is probably what's going on with you, and it probably means you've got some healing to do on the subject. So I thought I would tell you about me a little bit. I wrote some narcissism books under M.K. Conrad, and more are coming. And for me, I grew up with a narcissist father. He was not a true narcissist, because he actually would tell the truth. If you called him out on a lie, he would tell the truth. But which narcs generally won't do. They just dig in deeper and lie harder. But
so true. Yeah.
but he was still very narcissistic, and very much, he's all about me. It was all about me. It was all about him. We all had to cater to him. So that walking on eggshells thing is how I grew up. And but then I married, because at that time when I was young, I didn't know this. The man who found me when I was, 23 or 24 years old, he was a vicious narc, and I think a psychopath as well, because things he did things that are illegal, like stealing from his employer and getting credit cards under fake social security numbers, and more. And so he was, and he didn't care. So anyway, I finally got out of that and spent way too many years trying to figure out what happened, and I couldn't put the pieces together because I didn't know what narcissism was, and I didn't know the patterns, and I didn't know the tactics they used. So many years later, I found someone who wanted to talk openly about it. They're two friends who both have narcissistic mothers, and when we started talking, things clicked. It was like, oh, that's it. And so the first thing that happened in me was that I started to gain the understanding through shared experiences. And then I started connecting all these weird things. Like, I would get upset and I would go, well, my life sucks because the rug always gets pulled out from under me no matter what I do. And then I realized that was how I was brought up with my dad. The rug was always pulled out. It didn't matter what I did. He sabotaged me. And so those are the kinds of things you have to purge and heal, because otherwise you'll unconsciously sabotage your life as you go forward. So, but talking about it and connecting with other people who got it was the quantum leap. That was when real healing started and real change started. And I'm telling you, that was many years. And why should we have to do that for many years? Right. Why should we live with that kind of pain for many years? So again, go ahead.
I was going to think, from that thought, do you think people get trapped in those many years because they think it's, they're the only one in the world experiencing this? Because like you said, it wasn't until you actually met friends that had similar situations when it clicked as, wow, this actually happens to other people. I'm not the only person that this happens to, right?
Absolutely. It is absolutely true. One of the characteristic traits of a narcissist is they isolate you from people who care about you genuinely, because they want their voice to be the only one in your ear. And if that's all you're hearing, you're not hearing other perspectives, you're not hearing other points of view, you're not hearing other friends, you start to believe what's being told to you. Yeah, especially if you're a child. So, yes, definitely. Again, please, if you are in a severe state of depression, hopelessness, or suicidal thoughts, call 911, get help. I think you can also Google 211 and get help now.
Okay.
I think someone said that to me once. So find help right now. Don't wait, because it doesn't get better on your own. All right. So again, not every narcissistic person is a narcissist. So I wanted to just actually Jessica was the one who told me about this in our collective, that NPD is actually a diagnosable disorder that can be diagnosed by a professional. I have a friend right now who's divorcing a diagnosed narcissist. And because of that diagnosis, it's helping her in court with, the divorce and the custody of the child.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, yes. But she also has a lawyer who is versed in dealing with a narcissist. So that's a good tip.
Right.
But narcissists don't seek help. They don't think there's anything wrong with them. They think there's something's wrong with everybody around them, and everybody should just do what they say, and they feel like they have to be in control. So I think that 6% estimate is low. I think it's a much more prevalent problem than we acknowledge. And I think it's really important that we start seeing these patterns so we can start identifying these things. And stop taking the blame game when it's aimed at us. Especially when if we're not doing anything and we know we're not doing anything, but we're feeling guilty because they're making us feel guilty because they don't want you to look at what they're doing.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Sick and twisted. So for our purposes here, though, I'm not going to distinguish between the two things, because someone who acts narcissistically you get the same effects. So it doesn't really make a difference. So let's start with control tactics. And I put this in because I thought it was cute. Queen Anne's lace is a flower, and poison hemlock looks very similar to it. But I thought this was interesting that Queen Anne's lace it's together like a good human, like a whole human. And poison hemlock is kind of split apart, like the narc, who has kind of a fractured personality, a fractured identity. So that's just my little joke there. So the basic, now there are other control tactics, but the basic ones, gaslighting, I call it lie, deny, and call you crazy, where they twist everything around and make you question your memory or your sanity. We're going to go a little deeper later. Love bombing are over the top, compliments, praise, gifts, everything. And it's at the beginning when you first meet them. Usually that is someone you don't know well who's not in your family, because family members don't need to do this. But this includes a testing phase, especially in a new relationship. And I wanted to tell you, when my brother met this third narcissist that he married, she tested him. She purposely dehydrated herself. She drank a lot of wine. She sat in a jacuzzi. She didn't drink any water. And the next day she went to the park and did yoga, drank no water or fluids, and dehydrated herself till she collapsed. Of course, she was in full view of many people who called 911. Well, my brother at the time was a captain on the fire department, and the park she went to was right down the street from his station. So they, of course, contacted his station, and when he realized it was her, they had to shut down the station because he was the rank of captain, and he wanted to go to the hospital with her because he was freaking out. Oh. And they had to shut down the station and get a new captain to come in and cover. So what a test, right? She did not care that station was shut down and real problems. And then she miraculously got better when they rehydrated her. What a shock. And he still thinks that that's a real thing, that she has a mystery disease. That was a big test for her to see if she could control him. Wow. Yeah. So that's an extreme example, but they test you. So devaluation means that they are putting you down. Like sometimes on movies and stuff, you hear it, throw a neg at them. You're really beautiful with such greasy hair, or you're so lucky, I love you because no one else will. Like you're just not worthy, and you're so lucky to have this awesome narcissist, Silent treatments usually come later. That's when, if you push and you try to set a boundary, they'll silent you until you give.
Wow.
Yeah. Projection is exactly what they project, what they're doing on you, and they're pros at turning it around like, well, if you didn't cheat on me, when they're the ones who are cheating. And then you're defensive. I'm not cheating. What are you talking about? Well, I saw you with that guy. That never happened. The gaslighting kind of works in there together with it. Triangulation is setting off other people against you. Like, and narc moms will do this with their children. They'll set their children against each other so they're not looking at what the mom is doing.
Mm-hmm. That happened with me, by the way, but just throwing it in there.
I believe you because you have a narc mom. Yes, you do.
I'm so happy she can't understand English, so she doesn't know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, she would just kill me. I love her to death, though, you know.
That's a whole, we'll talk about that. But rage and intimidation comes if you're really out of control and you're not listening to them. The rage and intimidation comes at you hard. And in the case with my ex-husband, that came with hitting to get me to stop talking. Mm-hmm. And then later, after that, comes the hoovering, but it's always with a sideways non-apology apology. I'm sorry you made me so mad. You know, I'm so sorry I hate you, but you have to stop making me so mad. You have to stop saying things like that. So it's really all about you and how you're supposed to behave. And of course, everything is a double standard. Nothing applies to them, it all applies to you.
Wow.
And then one of the biggest ones is calling you a narcissist. You're such a narcissist. You know, you're so selfish. How could you ask me to stop, seeing my friend who she's cheating on you with? So you're probably cheating because you're accusing me of cheating. So they gaslight you to death, and you're sitting there going, "Wait, what just happened?" And you're so crazy, you feel crazy. It's like I used to say, they will tell you the sky. Oh, look at that beautiful blue sky, you'll say, and they'll go, "What are you talking about? That sky's not blue, it's orange. What's wrong with you? You must be crazy. Everybody can see that that's orange." Until you're like, "Wait, is that orange?"
That is crazy. I love how we're gonna stop right here on and with some with some commercial, with a little break. But I love how you ended. They're calling you a narcissist when they are the narcissist. So
right.
I'm looking forward to see what else you're gonna share after this quick break.
Okay.
Why do 98% of beauty enthusiasts rave about coolness? It's all in the blend of ancient wisdom and modern science. Introducing Coolness, Pearlescent Face and Eye Serum Cream. This powerhouse combines the antioxidative power of schisandra berries, the glow of pearl powder, and the hydrating wonders of dragon's blood extract. It's like a time machine for your skin, making it radiant, firm, and oh so smooth. Inspired by ancient Chinese traditions and backed by modern nutritional science, this serum cream is perfect for dry, mature, and aging skin. It's time to unlock your inner glow with Coolness. Treat your skin to the best of both worlds today.
And we're back.
And we're back. Okay, well, let's just keep going. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to tell everybody, if you want to see a great example of narcissism, watch Bates Motel. It's on Prime. If you ever wondered how Norman became Norman Bates, look at his mother. I have to give the writers and the actors credit because she is the epitome of a narcissist. Every time Norman tries to pull away, she does exactly what we're talking about. She plays the victim. Oh, I love you so much. Nobody loves you like I do. And if he still calls her out, she flips into rage and screams until she gets her way. It goes on and on, but it's a great example of how she undermines.
Oh my God.
It's a really good show, and it's really well done. So, but if you can watch it from the perspective of looking at what a narc she is, it's pretty amazing. So I wanted to tell you just briefly, my friends, they each have, they're married and they each have a narc mom. And it's been really interesting to see how the narc mom affected the boy, well, the man, he's a man now, and the narc mom affected the girl, the wife. And then me, I had a narc dad. So us talking about our narc parent and what we've had to do to learn to, now my dad's passed away, their moms are still alive. They've both chosen to go completely no contact with their moms.
Wow.
And they both stay in contact with their dads and their siblings. But they because of the abuse that the mom pulls and the boy, I don't want to say their names. He's a man now. I think of him as a boy. He's much younger than I am. He is so funny because he can predict. He will say, okay, I'm going to do this. And now she's going to do this, and this. And then she does it. That's the benefit of understanding narcissism is you can predict them. They get really predictable. Mm-hmm. So you can, here comes the rage. Oh, look, now you stopped raging because you're going to play the victim instead. Oh, it gets kind of easy. So, so let's talk about if it's love or a trauma bond, because there's a lot of confusion about that. And the roots of narc abuse goes very deep. So I made this little picture for my friend Miss M, who she was married to a narcissist for many years, I think 25 years. And when she was originally dating him, she was the mistress that he was cheating on his wife with. And
Wow.
and then they got married. And over all those years, in spite of all the abuse she suffered, which she never talked about, she believed that she was the true love of his life. But then she got to the point where she couldn't take his cheating anymore. Served him with divorce papers. And after they went through this long drawn out divorce, she started trying to date, but she kept dreaming about him. And she actually said the words to me, if it wasn't for this one tiny flaw, he'd be perfect. Mm-hmm. And my head almost exploded because being a narcissist is not a tiny flaw. Mm-hmm. It is a serious character defect. It's a mental disorder. It's not a tiny flaw, Wanting to go out playing poker with your buddies on Saturday night might be a tiny flaw. Right. Narcissism isn't. And then before their divorce was final, he married the skanky girl that he was having the affair with behind her back that caused her to divorce him. He married her before their divorce was final. Wow. So I'm like, oh, come on. This is the kind of things they do because the rules don't apply to them, you see. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to play a game. But first we're going to talk about some of the differences between love and trauma bond. There's more, but these are some basic ones. Love is built over time with trust and openness. When you are building a relationship, especially, with anybody, but kind of thinking in terms of romantic relationships, possible being married, Trust and openness grows. It doesn't happen on the first date. So a red flag of a trauma bond is fast attachment after sharing shared pain or trauma. So I made a game. Andy, will you play with me?
Sure.
Okay. Now my slides, I think my slides are okay. We're going to play real or red flag, okay? But I think my slides aren't working right, so it's going to show everything, but yeah. So it wasn't supposed to show the answer, but we'll just go past it.
Okay.
So if you're on a first date with a new person and he or she tells you a story about a painful past and how scared they are to jump in again, you are sympathizing and they're so relieved. You understand my pain. I feel so close to you. You're so special and no one else has ever made me feel so heard. I think I'm falling in love with you. Real or red? The answer is already in front of you.
Yeah, but that definitely is a red flag. Sure.
Big red flag. They are love bombing you and they are testing you to see if you can be a good dumping ground for all their problems.
Okay.
So if you've been listening and sympathizing, that you're passing their test, which is probably not a test you want to pass. Okay, here's the next one. So you're on a first date with a person who is interested in you, your hopes, your dreams, your goals, and he or she shares important details, but doesn't play victim. They might talk about the divorce they went through and shared custody with their kids or something like that. But there's no pressure or expectations of intimate relations at this early stage. It's a first date. Real or red?
Oh, that one's definitely real.
Yes, give and take, sharing, not rushing, sharing, not pressuring, and neither person is dominating. So those are red flags to watch out for if you're in the dating scene. Yeah.
And by the way, I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at the screen, so I can't see the answer, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Okay. So the next difference between love and trauma bond is love is built on mutual respect and trust. Mutual being the key word here. It goes both ways. It doesn't all go from you to the narcissist with nothing back. Yes. A trauma bond, however, cycles of pain and reconciliation. They cause you a lot of pain. You're in tears. And then you get a fake apology. I'm sorry you feel that way. And then you're so exhausted that you just kind of, you promise you won't do it again. And then they lie and say, I won't do it again, which is a lie. And then you feel better for about a minute. And it starts again. Okay, so real or red?
Okay.
You and your spouse disagree about whether the wife should stay home and raise the kids or pursue her career. You sit down together and make a plan that makes both spouses feel comfortable and heard. Real or red?
Real.
Yes.
Yes.
Because this is a give and take conversation. You're sharing and listening to each other and seeing the other point of view. And neither person is dominating the other one. Yes. Good. Andy, you're doing great. Okay, one more. You and your spouse disagree about whether the wife should stay home and raise the kids or pursue her career. The husband is concerned about the best interests of the children. The wife refuses to consider any possibilities and screams at the husband that she never wanted kids anyway, and it was his problem to figure out. Real or red?
Oh, definitely a narcissistic wife there, right?
Oh, definitely. Only interested in herself, her life, and no one else, including her children. This is a true lack of empathy. And if anyone out there is in a relationship like this, it does not get better.
And to be honest, I know a few friends that have a relationship like that, and they don't realize it. It's
Right.
so scary.
Because they're trauma bonded. And it's a trauma. The trauma bond feels like a powerful connection, but it's an illusion. It's based on an abuse victim cycle, and it repeats, and it's especially bad if you were raised in a narcissistic household because it feels familiar. But the only way to break the cycle is you have to break it for yourself. You have to go, wait a minute. I don't like this. I don't like living in pain. Right. It's not fun. I'm not happy. And that's hard. I went through that. It's hard. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's look at one more of the lover trauma bond. Love is stability and consistency over time. You know you can talk to the person. You talk things over. Even if you disagree, you work things out together. Mm-hmm. It's a shared bonding thing. And if something is really important to one, maybe you compromise to give someone something they really like, but it's not always one way. That's a difference. That's a very big difference. Like it's not always me giving to you. It's both ways. It's shared. Right. Yes. Trauma bonds, if you're living in chaos, the person you're married to or in a relationship with is unpredictable and you feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, red flag. So,
Kristy, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Can a narcissist marry a narcissist?
Well, of course, but I think probably that is an explosive one trying to dominate the relationship all the time.
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
Because
I do see that with some relationships. I'm just trying to look who's the narcissist. They're both just crazy, you know.
Yeah. Although codependence can take on the characteristics, because playing the victim is a big red flag of being of the narcs. They love to play the victim and never take any responsibility for themselves. Yeah. Yes. So real or red, Andy, your mother, maybe
My
not
mother,
your imaginary mother raised you with humor and support. She showed up at your sports competitions and other significant events. She encouraged you to explore possibilities. She was honest about the people you dated, both positive and negative. You may not have had extra money, but you always had what you needed. Real or red?
Oh, definitely real.
Yes, that is a stable parent, not sucking the life out of her child and expecting him or her to be her emotional support system. Mm-hmm. And I like to say she's growing a functional and emotionally stable human. Mm-hmm. Okay, real or red? Your father calls you names. He flips out when you walk in a room. He refuses to give your mother money to help pay the bills and support his children, and disappears for months without explanation. When he shows up again, it's to ask your mother for money. Real or red?
Oh, that one's like literally right out of a Hallmark channel, you know. Definitely a red flag there.
Definitely. That is a bad dad.
Yeah.
This is extreme selfishness, and it's all about me behavior. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, Andy, I have a little confession. That last red was my own dad. That was how I grew up. Mm-hmm. And in this picture, this was him about a year before he passed away. Mm-hmm. And the cat actually kind of put him in a decent mood, but you can tell by his face.
Yes.
Yeah, he was not a nice human. Mm-hmm. It was able to have a neutral relationship with him when he was in his 80s because of the work I did on myself. Right. Because for many years I was so angry that I couldn't even talk about him without screaming. Mm-hmm. And so after I got out of the marriage, I realized I was in a pattern. Mm-hmm. And dad and then husband, and I had to do something for myself. So, yeah. So I dug deep. People thought I was crazy when I tried to explain the horror show because they didn't know. And that's one of the things that isolates us is we try to tell people what we live through and they're like, but they're so nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're nice that's the mask. Yeah. So, are we okay on time?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay. So, my little story here.
Yeah, I think we can share this story. This
okay. So my wedding to my ex should have screamed red flags at me all over the place because every single person at that wedding was a friend of mine and my family's.
Okay.
He did not have one person come to our wedding. No friends, no family. He had 2 kids by a previous marriage. They didn't come. Nothing.
That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty big red flag right there.
I was like, wait a minute. How is it that this person has nobody who will come to support him in something that's a major life event? Well, I thought it was a major life event, but it wasn't. He was cheating on me during our honeymoon. So not significant for me, not for him. I was just another source of supply for him, another cover for his mask of
Right.
a married man so stable.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. We're going to take another short break and we'll be right back.
You're already powering up with X39. Now power on with Celergize Morning. It's the science of synergy. Daily nutritional support combined with cutting-edge technology to boost cellular wellness and overall well-being. Our science-backed ingredient profile pairs perfectly with your favorite LifeWave patches to optimize energy, focus, recovery, and so much more. Energize your day with nourishing ingredients designed to support the health and vitality of stem cells in your body. The inclusion of copper and Scienthox 50C buckthorn fruit extract give your body the ultimate boost, supporting the health and vitality of stem cells. A powerhouse blend of Scienthox, NAC, copper, selenium, and vitamin C add essential antioxidant support. NAC, glycine, selenium, vitamin C, and magnesium supports production of glutathione, which is essential for optimized cellular function. Blend of glycine, copper, and beta-alanine activates formation and repair of GHKCU and AHKCU. Build a strong defense with zinc, magnesium, NAC, vitamin C, copper, and selenium for added immune function support. Potassium, along with Scienthox, NAC, vitamin C, selenium, copper, and zinc to boost your cellular health. Magnesium, zinc, vitamin C, and Fibersol, because overall health and wellness starts from within. Whether you get active early or like to ease into your routine, Celergize Morning sets the pace for the day ahead. Celergize Morning. Start strong. Power on. Be the light. LifeWave.
Is your skin aging, dry, tired, and dull? Are you putting on more and more makeup to cover the fine lines and flaws? Now you don't have to. Coolness Skincare, developed by a middle-aged woman just like you. 2 years in formulating, pearlescent face and eye serum cream with Schisandra berries and dragon's blood extract for your face, eye, and neck. And the vegan version, Deep Love Face Cream, featuring powerful blue tansy. This face cream is everything you are looking for. Feel your beauty. Visit coolness.com or scan the QR code for more information.
And we're back into part 3. I'm so excited. So what are we going to be talking about in part 3?
We're going to talk about really healing these things. Whether you're still in some kind of relationship, which narcs are everywhere. I mean, they could be in your family. You could be married to them. They could be coworkers. Coworkers are a little easier and a little more challenging at the same time, because if you can't leave that job for some reason, or you have to work with that person, you have to learn how to deal with them. And the absolute best method with a coworker, because you don't really have a personal relationship, is just to do what they say called gray rocking, which is be completely neutral all the time. So if it's like they rush at you with this big emergency, you'll say, you have to do something neutral, like, thank you, I will take a look, and then walk away. and just be very neutral. You can't get upset or play into their little emotional drama. I had a coworker years ago. I didn't know she was a narc, but what she would do is she'd come in, "Hi, Chris. Do you have plans this weekend?" And I made the mistake of once saying no. And then "Oh, could you take my shift for me tomorrow?" Blah, 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 blah. And I was trapped. And so after that, I always had plans. Because the first time I said no, "Oh, sorry, my family's coming to town," she didn't even let me finish a sentence, and she walked away and went to find someone else. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to play your game. You just can't play their game on their terms. So, but let's talk a little bit about what it really means to heal, because some of the things, that happen to us, and it's whether we're in it or we're coming out of it, or we've been out of it for a while, but we don't really know what we're dealing with. You could feel trapped. I personally, for me, guilt is a big one. And for my mom, guilt is a big one, from what my dad did to her, because my dad was her husband. So there's a lot of guilt that he inflicted on her. And parents too, the guilt. So you can feel overwhelmed. It can feel like even a simple thing is really hard to do. You can be feeling exhausted because narcs like to, you become their dumping ground. And then we, because we're kind, empathetic humans, we try to make it better. Well, when we're taking on everybody else's garbage, you become a landfill. And we can't function that way, and it isn't our responsibility to do that. And that is a big deal to be empathetic without taking it on. And you have to get your nervous system. We talk so much about our nervous systems now, but I mean, I spent years on edge because every time I heard the door open, I was like, "Oh my God, did he just walk in the door?" Even though I changed the locks, and you can second guess yourself, be unsure about how to move forward in your own life. It's like, you got trained, that's a red flag. You got trained that you could only do what that person wanted you to do, and you didn't have the right to make your own choices. So you might have experienced that with your mom, because narc parents can do that to you.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can feel like you're say walking on eggshells, or a room filled with landmines, like, wait, is he in a good mood today or a bad mood today? How do I react? Should I just put dinner on the table and be silent, or should I remove myself from the situation, or what? You don't know what to do. It's terrible. It makes you small. It makes you feel insignificant. And it makes you feel like you're not worthy of anything better. And that is just not true. It's just not. So anyone who has survived any kind of a relationship with a narc, we say, how could I have let myself be so manipulated? And you start to think you're just so stupid. I went through this, like, how could I can't tell you how much I beat myself up over how stupid I was to not see it. But they are pros. They are pros at fooling you. And that's why we have to educate ourselves to what their tactics, that's the first step in healing. We educate ourselves in the tactics so that we can recognize them before they get a hold on us. And so I'm here to tell you, no, you are not stupid. You are not crazy, and you are not defective, because you were abused. And so we need to remember, narcs are vampires, and they feed off your energy, your compassion, your finances, your life. Everything about you is all about serving them. And it's a very hard thing for empathetic people to wrap their heads around. That narc, no matter what they said to you, it was a lie. "I love you more than anyone in the world could ever love you," is a lie. They don't love you. They only want you to be their little blood bank. And, because that just isn't true.
Right.
Your friends love you, your family loves you, you have people who love you. And yes, it may be varying degrees because it's normal to have varying degrees of it, but that doesn't mean that they're the only ones who love you. So, yeah. So remember that. If you feel like you were so stupid that they fooled you, you have to remember you were targeted. They can see you coming. They have a sixth sense about a kind and empathetic soul. That's why they love bomb you and test you at the very beginning to see how malleable you are. And if you set a boundary right at the beginning, they'll probably not ask you out on another date. They'll probably go on to their next target because they're looking for someone they can control. So I found this really cool thing to the pattern of abuse. I thought this was really cool how they cycle. And again, watch Bates Motel. I mean, watch Norma Bates. She is the epitome of the narcissist. You can see her go through these cycles. It's really amazing. And it's also something that they can control. That's another mistake we make, is thinking that they're out of control, that they're in such pain that they can't control this. That's also a lie. They can control it. When the last time I had the misfortune of encountering my brother's wife, she climbed over a picnic table to attack me and literally came at me. And then my brother asked me a question that she wanted the answer to, and all of a sudden the rage just stopped and she sat down instantly.
Wow.
And people think I'm crazy. I wish I'd had the presence of mind to record it. But whatever, it's okay. So now the next thing is that we can find all this information anywhere. We can go in ChatGPT and say, what are the control tactics of a narcissist? You can find all that kind of stuff. And it's really important that you do find it, that you do understand it, that you take it in and see how it plays out in real life. But information will never heal you. Information is mental, and healing takes place in the heart and in the soul. However that looks to you. And healing from narc abuse, it's not one size fits all. Everybody is different. We are individual humans. We have different needs. We've had different experiences. And so it's complicated and it's personal. And so this Band-Aid approach that we like in our society, this instant magic pill thing, it's not going to work. So the only way is that you have to dig out the roots of trauma. And it's a deeper kind of healing, but the good news is it is not, it doesn't really take that long. because the first and biggest step is identifying that you have been abused by a narcissist. You've been intentionally, systematically abused and destroyed, which doesn't mean you have to stay destroyed. And they've poisoned you. They've poisoned your spirit. And the best, like I said before, it was when I started talking about it with people who had lived it. That was when I quantum leaped. And so that was why I started the Narc Detox Club, honestly, Andy, because I've seen it over and over again. I have talked to so many people I've got friends who are, like I said, I have a friend right now who's going through a really bad divorce with a narc, and the daughter he's using her as a pawn, and it's a rough situation. And because he doesn't care about the child, he only cares about using the child to get what he wants.
Correct.
And so I've talked to people with narc parents, narc relationships, narc siblings, friends, coworkers, all kinds of people. And what I've noticed is when they start talking about it and they start realizing you get it, they relax. They go, oh my God. I can't tell you how many people said, oh my God, I'm so glad you get it. People look at me like I'm crazy when I try to tell them. And it's true, because if you haven't lived it, it's very difficult to describe the crazy making thing that happens to you, the fog and confusion that happens in your mind, the I don't know what's going on feeling that you can't define. It's you unless people have lived it, and then they go, I know exactly what you mean. I have been in narcissistic fog, and it is not fun. So having a place to turn with people who get it takes away the isolation that the narc inflicted on you. And that I think alone is probably one of the most important things, because that's what allows your nervous system to calm. And so that's why I started Narc Detox Club, Andy. That was my reason. Is I'm like, it took me, if I confess how many years, it took me probably 30 years.
Oh my gosh. Because
I didn't know, and I'm older than I look. I probably would be dead by now if I'd stayed married. But I noticed when I kind of quantum leaped, I noticed that I felt better, that I started trusting my decisions, that I felt like I could listen to my own needs and not apologize. Like, I need this, and I need to take a day off work, and I'm not going to apologize for that, because I'm in need of a day off. And whatever it is, or I have an intuition that I shouldn't take this job because it feels like I just turned down a job, as a matter of fact, because it felt like a big problem. It was an editing job, 40 books in 2 months. I'm like, that's not humanly possible. And the fact that the guy thinks it is a screaming red flag. And then when you finally start giving yourself permission to be who you are, you start to thrive.
I love that.
Yes. And that is what, I kind of already told you about my brother and the repeating pattern. Yeah. The difference between my brother and I is that he never dealt with the abuse from our childhood, and he keeps trauma bonding with narcissists. And then he blames me when I call it out. So I have realized I have to be pretty much no contact with him. The sad things is that because I take care of my mom, he has gone he refuses to talk to my mom. He won't even call her on her birthday. And I just think that is a sick and twisted thing, because the narcissist he's married to has convinced him that my mom was the abuser.
Wow.
And you know my mom, she is not an abuser.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's why we are here. And honestly, I found this and I loved it so much, because I don't think there's anything better than having people in your life who make you feel emotionally safe. And Andy, you and Minna are that for me, and I think I am that for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, because we know each other pretty well.
Yes.
After all these years. And so, that's why I decided. So now everybody knows why I decided to start the Narc Detox Club. It is open for enrollment. It's tons of fun stuff, easy to get through. Lots of support from experts will be in there, and then also from me. And we're building a community of people who get it, so we can support each other in our healing and take that quantum leap.
I love that. I love your mission for the Narc Detox Club. And, I love for all our viewers, they may not realize they're in a narcissistic relationship, to at least, reach out to you. What's the best way to reach out to you?
Oh, honestly, you can just go to narcdetoxclub.com. I think there's a contact me on there, or I have narcdetoxclub@gmail.com as well. It's for my personal email. You can email me there, and or just go on and check it out. Everything is good to go.
That's awesome. Well, Thank you so much, Kristy, for today's lesson.
Thank
If
you.
today's episode spoke to you, don't go it alone. Book your free consult with Kristy or one of our other expert coaches at chronichealthcollective.com for personalized support. And of course, subscribe to our monthly magazine where our 11 coaches, our amazing coaches, help you elevate your health, mindset, and relationships. Catch us live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. CST or watch past episodes on E360 TV or youtube.com at Chronic Health Collective. Thanks for tuning in, and your transformation starts now. See you all next week.